Hello, everyone. Welcome to Football Uncensored. My name is Chris, the American Mag. Of course, this is going to be a very quick transfer news roundup. A lot of things going on in the Premier League right now. A few news of international football. Shout out to all of you out there that are in the chat. Ian Fleming, Mighty Mag, the one and only Mighty Mag. Queen of Heart, of course, always lovely. Marky and UFC, everybody out there, I appreciate your support. So sorry we had to come in 5 minutes late. The mighty win is always in my head, man. Always something wrong with him. Why? But anyways, let's get right to it. Let's not waste any more time, ladies and gentlemen. As you see right there, that according to Everton, there's a done deal. Have signed that they have signed Jesper Lindstrom from Napoli, a loan deal with an option to buy for 22.5 million euros. So that's a good deal for Everton right there, as they're looking to make deals. Also, another one for Everton, according to Mail Sport, as you see right there. Let me zoom in a little bit. There you go. Jared Braithwaite is intending not to sign a new contract at Everton unless they can match the 160,000 pound a week being offered by Manchester United. So according to Man U is trying to move heavily with the money. They do have it, of course. They generate a lot of money being a big establishment as they are. And I'm sure a lot of people will have some things to say about that situation. But regardless, they got the money to spend it, I guess. So they're gonna pay 150, 160 to Braithwaite, and obviously he wants Everton to match it if he wants to stay. If they want him to stay, I'm not 100% sure what to do in that situation. If the player is starting to do this stuff, most fans will say, let him go. And moving on to the next one, talking about Manchester United. Their eyeing Benfica defender Antonio Silva is a cut price potential alternative to Jared Braithwaite, as we just mentioned. He has an 84 million pound release clause, but it's tough. But it's thought that Benfica would be willing to let Silva go if an offer exceeding 42 million pounds was tabled, according to Ojogo from Portugal. So nice, interesting player. If you're a Man United fan, certainly somebody to look at. But if you like Braithwaite, who would you have? Would you have either or, both? I don't think it's going to be both. It's going to be one of the other, to say the least. But we'll have to see what happens. And moving on to the next one, according to Sunsport, Brentford plans to sell Ivan Toney could be shelved after his replacement Igor Thiago suffered an injury in the preseason. But Ivan Toney, a sought-out striker, Spurs fans wanted him. He was linked to Spurs, but not much came from it. Of course, Chelsea was in the conversation at some point. Arsenal have been linked, but I'm not 100% sure what would happen. What's going to happen with Ivan Toney, man? He played at Newcastle United, of course, played at Brentford. He's a guy that just cares about himself, really, which to a certain extent, most people will say, well, what is he supposed to do? Take care of himself. Well, in this situation, that's what's happening. But certainly, Brentford seemed to be wanting to part ways with him once and for all. We'll have to keep an eye and see what happens with Ivan Toney. Should he come to Newcastle United for the Newcastle fans out there? Ugh, man, we definitely need a backup. Callum Wilson is always hurt. Moving on to the next one, and it is about Newcastle United. Miguel Almiron is in advanced talks to leave Newcastle for an unnamed Saudi Pro League club, according to Football Insider, and definitely has been backed up by the BBC. We're going to talk about that on NUFC Talk TV. So if you are a Newcastle United fan, I suggest you subscribe to NUFC Talk TV, because it's going to be one of the main stories that we cover tonight at 10 p.m. UK. So we'll see what happens with Miguel Almiron. Moving on to Man United. According to this report, David Ornstein actually saying that Aaron Wan-Bisaka has rejected advances from West Ham United and would prefer a move to Inter Milan this summer, if that was the case. He is a guy that obviously some say is talented, some saying he's really not. So I think he's talented, skilled, but is not the end all be all. But he definitely wants to go outside of the Premier League if he needs to be gone. He doesn't want to go to West Ham. So obviously you keep. There's another report later on down the line that we're going to read as well. According to the Football Insider as well, Liverpool have been told they will need to submit 50 million pound offer to Juventus to sign the one and only Gleason Bremer right here, giving you the high five. So if they want him, not a lot of moves from Liverpool at this point in time. Not a lot of moves, definitely for Spurs. We're going to get into one that might be leaving pretty soon. Talking about staying in Manchester, and one of the big clubs obviously want to sign Dani Olmo, one of the stars of Spain in this Euro. Manchester City have made in a concrete offer to sign Dani Olmo from RB Leipzig. Um, I mean, I don't know. He's a really talented guy. I'm just looking at it from the Newcastle perspective. I'm a Newcastle fan, and we are not linked to any of these guys, man. What? I don't understand it. We are not linked to any of these guys. In almost cheap. And Garassi is cheap as well. The mighty wind tells me that we have all this money in the world to spend. Where is it? Why are we not spending? But if you are a Man City fan, certainly you're going to like Dani Olmo. Is he going to play though? You guys have a lot of players, so that would be interesting to see. Talking about Chelsea, of course, Fabrizio Romano saying that in exclusive, Chelsea are closing in on Philip Jorgensen deal as agreement with Villarreal is at final stages. Chelsea have improved their proposal after initial bid worth 20 million euros, and they're just discussing deal structure with Villarreal. And obviously, Fabrizio corroborating by reposting this, saying that it's going to be done anytime. Just a quick one. Obviously, Ricardo Calafiori already been a here we go for Arsenal, and they already pretty much it's a done deal. They just gotta do the medical and all that stuff. So not much to be said there. He will be playing for the Gooners. I was talking about Tottenham Hotspur and something. Their fans are enraged because they don't sign anybody. The players that they sign are young players. They're literally young players. No older guy. Nobody established. On top of that, Brian Gill has got his heart set on a move to Girona, away from Spurs, and personal terms have been agreed. The players camp informed Tottenham Hotspur that Brian wants to join Girona at all costs. Negotiations between clubs over deal formula talks are still ongoing, but the guy wants to leave. So that's going to be a loss. A lot of Spurs fans are going to be happy. Some, I'm sure, are not going to be happy by the fact that they're not signing anyone. So there you go. It's not only Newcastle, I guess. Fabrizio Romano reported that before completing any deal for a new right back, Man United need to clarify the situation with Wan-Bisaka, who we just spoke about not too long ago, a couple minutes ago. His exit is considered as crucial step in order. It's crucial in order to sign a new right back while Bisaka has 1 year left on his contract. So that was the final details right there from coming from Fabrizio, of course. The next one, Juventus looks like have in Bournemouth are now exchanging all documents for Dean Hoyson deal. Dean Hoyson. I'm bad at last name, so pardon me for that. But the medical is said to be on Saturday. So, meanwhile, Juventus will bid for Jean-Claire Todibo in the next few days. So, Todibo, another player that we were linked with. My gosh, I almost feel horrible doing this transfer shows, man. But anyways, the next one, Harry Maguire says that I have 1 year left of my contract with an option. But if they come to me and say they don't want me anymore, of course I will look for options elsewhere. But that's never been told to me. Full focus on winning trophies here he has told Sky Sports. I mean, he's been an up and down thing, right? Uh, Ten Hag didn't want him last season, and all of a sudden he wanted to be a captain again. He made him a captain again. Shout out to Elias, man, another Tottenham Hotspur guy. Big up Elias Krishan. All the way. You're in Malaysia. You're in Malaysia, aren't you? We got a guy in Malaysia as well. We do shows with him, so we're gonna have to bring you in, Elias, definitely. Shout out to Warren there. Shout out to all the guys in the chat. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, folks. All right, Harry Maguire. We'll have to see. He's one day he's the villain, the next day he's a hero. So I don't know. Moving on to Manchester City, right across the street, is Fabrizio understands that negotiations between Al Ittihad and Man City for Ederson are currently not progressing and is still very, very complicated. He obviously doesn't want to be a backup, and I'm not sorry, not a backup, but he just doesn't want to be a Man City for some reason. He just wants to make the money, man. I think that it's money driven situation, but it is what it is, man. That's what players are. They do this for money. Man City have been clear 50 million or 60 million package, or no way for green light. Al Ittihad are also considering other options from La Liga in so not only the Premier League. So there you go. And moving on to the next one, another Premier League news for the Aston Villa fans. Joao Felix back in Madrid to train alone, supported by Atletico Madrid staff. No chance to stay at Atleti as club wants to sell him and he wants to leave. Unai Emery insisting with a dream signing, but Aston Villa will try to reduce expensive package. So that's one to watch according to Aston Villa. And this is me being the Newcastle United fan again. Is he would you not want to have Joao in the tune? He certainly on that right side, maybe. He's very talented. I'm just saying, man. I just want somebody, somebody. Moving on to the next one. Arsenal news here. Despite reports, still zero talks or contracts between Inter and Arsenal for Jakub Kivior's. They haven't talked to them at all. So no agreement, no negotiations so far. Arsenal have not received any approach from Inter for Jakub Kivior. Nothing agreed, nothing despite the speculation. So there you go. That's another gooner that might be looking to stay. Talking about Arsenal fans, they have still not presented any official bid for Mikel Merino, former Newcastle United player. Can we get him as well? It looks like Arsenal are focusing on sealing Calafiori first, and then they're gonna probably move on to Mikel Merino. Formal contracts for midfielder will start in the next few days with Merino in the list, and approaches took place on the player side, but nothing official of yet. So Mikel Merino, Europa champion, Europe champion, European champion. I don't think we'll try to bring him back in the tune. One player that was linked to the tune a while back was De Gea, David De Gea. Could finally return to football at Genoa. So the Spaniard is part of the list of goalkeepers targeted by the Italian club. He has been a free agent for a whole year. So we'll see. That's according to Luca Bendoni. According to 1908, decent page right there saying the fan are in talks with Brighton to sign Facundo Buonanotte on loan. There you go. So talking about Brighton in full of talented players. Well, there you go. Arsenal, back with Arsenal, ladies and gentlemen, have all but agreed to sell Emil Smith Rowe to Fulham for £35 million. If the deal goes through, he will match Arsenal's biggest ever sale. That's Arsenal's bigger sales only 35 million pounds. Oh my god, that's crazy. Well, he will match that if he's sold, having only made 3 Premier League starts since August 2022, according to the Evening Standard. So, man, that's interesting. That's definitely a good one. Good to know. Nuzair Mazrui, man, this is tough. Does not want to join West Ham United. He's still waiting for Man U or Juventus to come in for him, according to Football Mercato. So he doesn't want to go to West Ham. Man, he killed me with that last name. Talking about Diario As, and this is a big deal, big news media outlet in Madrid, Spain, saying that an agreement exists between Real Madrid and Alfonso Davies for his free transfer in 2025. So he might stay with Bayern this season. We're looking at the internationals now. Another player that I personally want to advocate to come to the tune, please, because he's a legend and he can still give you minutes. It's Mats Hummels saying, according to Core Sport, that did not show up for his medical with Bologna. Everything was agreed and he didn't show up for it. He wants to take a few days to think and evaluate all aspects, given that he has never left a Bundesliga before. I would assume if there was a Premier League club, he wouldn't think about it too much. I'm just being biased, but it is what it is. So Mats Hummels, come on to the tune, brother. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, literally Bayern CF Bayern saying this is not Bayern Munich, by the way. It's a reporter. This the head of football for Sport Bild, the Bild Sport, the German outlet. They're reporting that there's an idea at Man City to try and sign Jamal Musiala as Kevin De Bruyne's successor. And the Belgians' time at club is nearing its end, of course, as we know. So, I mean, there you go. A lot of things going on right now in football. Certain clubs are not busy, so that's I guess that's a negative on certain clubs. But Tottenham Hotspur, Newcastle United, they're not really busy in this transfer window. I'm struggling to comprehend and to deal with that. But I need to be like my partner, the mighty win. It will happen when it happens. So there you go. Elias saying, "Yeah, I'm having good evening, more like morning actually, watching Olympics opening ceremony. Yeah, the Olympics are going on today. That's interesting." Warren Denning says, "Reason being, our budget goes to elite. If Gordon goes to 85 million, is on the table apparently." All right, so there you go. Um, let me see the other comments right there. Well, yeah, that's what's going on right now as far as the transfer window is concerned. A lot of things going on. Manchester United are moving a lot. They're the only ones making deals, to be honest with you. I mean, that's kind of it's kind of crazy. I know people want to say that the Sky Sports they only cover the Manchester United, etc. But they're about the only ones making moves, and Chelsea. They're about the only ones. Now you can say, well, that's BS, as in they don't make good moves anyway. They just buy anybody that moves. Well, that could be true as well. But to say the least, other clubs, Aston Villa has been, they lost Diaby as well. We're going to have to see if they can perform. Crystal Palace, have they really improved to say, to get to the point where they're competing for the Premier League? I don't think so. I don't think they've bettered their squad. Certainly lost Elise. That's a big situation. They're keeping Eze for the moment, but nothing confirmed as of yet. There's still a lot of time left. But yeah, that's what football. That's what everybody's dealing with right now. Other fan bases are just kind of chilling. Even Man City, but Man City are literally. Do they really need other players? Right? They're trying to make this move for Musiala, which is a top player for the German national team, and of course for Bayern Munich. And so they just need one or two pieces. And definitely the fact that they're going to go for Musiala lets Newcastle United, because they were going to go for Bruno Guimaraes. It looks like that might be settled there, even though Musiala is. Not necessarily the same position, but you know, but I'm just saying, just throwing it out there, just kind of jinxing Man City to steer away from Newcastle United. But listen, it is what it is. That's what's happening right now in football. Don't forget to hit the like button. We will see you in shortly in about 8 minutes if you're a Newcastle United fan on NUFC Talk TV next, and that's going to be a heated one because we got breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about a few things happening with the tune. But if you are a regular, if you're just a neutral fan, if you're a Spurs fan, Man City, Man U, Chelsea, Arsenal fan, thank you so much for your support. And we got big things coming up for this channel. Big things for everybody that's the fans of the Premier League. So stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and I will see you on the next one, folks. Ciao, ciao.